This is a reaction video from a post for our community by Schwack-Eam. Well, I got humbled. So I've been researching trading futures for a while now. Paper traded for a few weeks on Thinkorswim and had really good progress. I had a good understanding of risk, was being disciplined, obviously easier with paper, and thought I had a good thing going. Fast forward, I put 2,000 in NinjaTrader and had a few really good days. I was up 5K after 3 days of trading SPY futures. So right off the bat, putting in 2,000 and making 5,000 after 3 days, you basically made over 100% in 3 days. Right off the bat, risk management's not on point. Your plan is not very solid in terms of something that can be realistic over the future when you have inevitable drawdowns. I got cocky and started taking trades left and right, part of being overconfident and thinking everything was going your way. And about 5 days later, I'm down to less than $200. So you gave up all your gains and your initial capital. Didn't follow my rules, traded way too large a position, ignored stop losses, just bad revenge trading every possible way, absolutely blew it. So here I am, humbled and ready to keep on learning. So now you've hit the cycle of feeling bad and then wanting to get back at it. But if you do not have a solid plan on how to tackle your vices, your bad habits, your rule breaking kind of behaviors, you're going to repeat the same cycle over and over. So you definitely need to take a real deep dive and find out, why do you not follow your rules? Are you in it for the P&L? Because that's one way of never getting to becoming profitable, because you gotta fall in love with the process. Trading way too large of a position. Again, are you too focused on the P&L? Because 1% of your 2,000 is $20. That's at most, on average, depending on, everyone has their own risk tolerances, but on average, $20 is your risk if you only have 2,000. Of course, if we want to make this into a daily income strategy or something that we can live off our income, you need so much initial starting capital. In another post I reviewed, I believe someone in our community talks about having at least $500,000. So you got to put everything in perspective so that you can withstand all the ups and downs in this very fantastic career and job choice. My plan is to spend a lot more time in paper trading, good move, and refine my strategy. Define rules and commit to sticking to them. Excellent. You kind of wrote everything on paper on what to do, and not go back to real money until I can definitely prove I can be profitable trading paper. So shout out to Jerry Wesley of Live Traders. I believe he said risk no more than $5 for the first kind of 6 months or first 3-4 months, and then you have earned the right, after you can consistently prove to not lose any money, or even if you're making a little bit of money, then you can increase it to $10, $25, $50, and you can only graduate after successfully completing your weekly and monthly challenges and sticking to your rules and making sure that are you profitable 3 to 5 hour weekly. So I definitely think that's something to be said, because if you are profitable 3 to 5 hour weekly for a whole month, so 5 hour times 4 is 20 R. If you have $100 risk, that would be $2,000 a month. Typically, $500 a day keeps the day job away. Shout out to Clay Trader. So $500 times 20R is $10,000. So definitely can make something with that type of risk reward profile, but just kind of giving you the simple maths here. You have to define what is right for you. That's why it's very We live in a very fortunate time to have prop accounts where you can have access to a lot of capital, given that you pass these evaluation challenges and have a solid game plan to stick with it in the long run. Then I take it very slow when I return to my real port. So any pointers on my research practice are appreciated, and I'd love to hear for any personal rules from what you found helpful. So I say at least 6 months of trading paper, $5 to $10 until you are profitable 3 to 5 hours every week, and you're consistently profitable every week. Otherwise, you're still sticking with paper, and you're still sticking with refining your edge. Only then can you graduate and then do $25, $50, $100. It's just protecting you and a lot of heartache and financial mental anguish that will inevitably come if you do not form a correct pattern, a correct game plan. Also, I think what would be helpful is that you keep your day job and just dedicate some time to trading, so that you're still making income, but you're still working on this goal on the side. Sure, it's it's a very great idea to quit your current full-time job and go all in on trading, but this is one of those professions where the bar of entry is almost none. You just need to be over 18 and have some capital, and brokerages, prop firms will gladly take some fee or gladly take your deposit and just allow you to get a taste of the market. So, and in order, and as a beginner, especially one that know that you have some very bad habits to break, just putting an additional stress of making a daily income or making a monthly income to live off of is just kind of going to ruin your process in terms of not allowing you to develop the right habits in order to survive in this market. And then after surviving, thriving. So because you don't have the habits, you need at least 3 months. There was a book in terms of how to form habits, and I believe it said 90 days of consistent action in order to create a very sound habit. Uh, but that's when you start off on a clean slate, though. If you are not on a clean slate and you have bad habits, I believe it takes. The book did not say how much longer. Maybe it's definitely over twice as long, because you have to first break the old habit to say no to it, and then you have to relearn the new habit. So it's kind of more than twice as hard to break the habit and then create a functional, well supportive habit. So might as well just learn how to trade from the get-go and save yourself time. So you're also profitable in time management. So it's a beautiful thing. So let's see what our community says for you. Schwack-em. Whale clap underscore says, I mean, bruh, if you 2.5 times your account in 3 days, you gotta know you're over leveraging. Yes, I believe you said everything about why you blew up, except you didn't know. Oh wait, yes you did. You said you traded way too large of a position. Yeah, you know you're over leveraged. Okay. Pandoing YNP says it's definitely part of the learning process. Try the micro contracts for a bit. I agree for the micro contracts, but you need to trade paper in order to really break these habits. Part of the learning process, it depends on some. I'm kind of neutral about it. I guess some people will kind of ignore all advices until they're held to the fires, and then sink or swim. If you want to sink first before you swim, or eat eaten or be eaten. Maybe some people are just wired to have that be part of their journey, but I think for a enjoyable experience on our time here on Earth, just being able to trade and have it be as smooth as possible, I think would be the most ideal outcome. If you can picture learning how to day trade without having those type of incredible drawdowns, or just not, or just gambling or just not following a trading plan or having poor edge. I think if you can avoid all the pitfalls, people would say day trading is the most ideal fairy tale dream-like type of career. So there's just something to think about. Biotech Farm Bro 1980 says, live to trade another day. Rule 0, shout out to Jerry Wesley Live Traders, capital preservation. Narrow Dash Wrongdoer 2430 says, switch to slash MES, also mini SPY contracts. Keep the lot to 1, yes. Yes, I said 1 share. You have to aim to burning out your trading emotions, not avoiding them. After burnout, you can now trade like a robot like you need to be. Yes, in my last reaction video about people being emotional traders, I put a quote in the description, so I'm going to definitely link that same quote in this video so that we can all have access to it. It's essentially that you should trade like a robot with no emotions. And trading is an emotionless business, and that's how you know you're doing it right. There's no, yeah, you're celebrating the wins. Sure, fine, there is, of course, something we said we want to have positive risk reward ratios. So yeah, our expectation is to win, but we cannot deny that there is a probability factor. And okay, some losses are here are inevitable, but they are all accounted for, and in the end, we'll come out ahead, come out green. YOLO researcher says, in this job, you're humbled daily and weekly. It happens all the time. Not necessarily. I'm neutral about that. Depends on your edge. You know that you're going to come out ahead. So the fact that you're even humbled daily, I think there's still an emotional component that still needs to be corrected, in my opinion. Glass underscore photo underscore 2572 says, if you're trading ES size down to MES, that's what I do to discipline myself. Whenever I screw up until I can prove myself, I am ready to move up again. Yes, so there should be this is an extension of what I think YOLO researchers should say. You should be on the daily and weekly self-analyzing. So if you know you're getting emotional, or if something is wrong with your trading psychology or behavior, or there is drama or chaos in your life, it's okay to trade paper, and it's okay to take a break. It's okay to size down. It's okay to not trade at all. You need to do what's best for you in order for you to take profit away from the markets, put food on the table for your family and yourself. Impressive Gear 7 says, define your daily loss trade limit and stick to it, please. I personally trade micros. Okay, great advice. Skyfall says, you've gone through the first hurdle of learning. It's what it's like to trade with real money. Everyone goes through this process. They spend minimal time on demo accounts, and it goes well for several reasons. It can be a mixture of reasons, but some of which I've noticed. You have the courage to double down when you're in a drawdown and know that the win is close when you've finally caught the movement. Finally, this immediately will restore your drawdown and put you into profit. Very bad habit. To get rid of number one, you need to obey your stop loss. This is kind of one of the cardinal sins, to be honest. Kind of still doubling down and not trusting your system. So in my opinion, to correct number one, take the stop loss, no matter how much it hurts. You'll be surprised that once you get emotional taking the stop loss and you're moving on, you don't even remember the last trade. You just kind of log it into your notes or your recorder for your daily trading diary / journal, and you move on with life. The sensation of being in a drawdown and a demo doesn't faze you because you know you can start over anytime. So your decision making is fairly intact enough to maintain your average win-loss expectations. Quite frankly, as I'm trading in a demo account, I don't feel I don't have that such thing because you're taking it seriously. You're developing an edge because time is finite, and why would you waste time just kind of, you can start over anytime, this is a botched trade? No, take the stop loss, establish the habit of clicking the order or putting in the stop loss order, move on. That's it. Not sticking to a robust risk management as you need to in order to get to true colors of your strategy, such as taking larger positions because why not? Moving your stop loss when you realize you're wrong, just give it more space to turn around. Okay, just an extension of 1 and 2. Lying to yourself that every trade you took on a demo account you're willing to take with real money. And even if you wouldn't, the fact that you made 50 to 100% in a single week, surely you'll still be happy if you made a fraction of it. And there's a part of delusion that is not in my vocabulary because this is real life. We're putting time in to get money from the market to live on. So there's no delusion here. Let's put things in perspective and treat every point. Perfect. There's only one thing you continue to do until you're in profit because you have no real risk. The thought process that if you fail, you start over and follow all the rules this time. The problem is you won't, correct? Because you are caught in an illusion that you will be mentally sound to continue risk losing money indefinitely until you turn it around. Except you don't have infinite funds. And the fact that you need to risk a percentage of your balance makes it progressively difficult to get out of a drawdown with a real account because you're risking less money per trade if you're following a real risk management plan. Yep, your money is not infinite, so you got to make it count. That's why edge is so critical in this process. Finding it is so critical. All good and done on demo. If when you're in an actual drawdown on a real account, you'll be battling the decision of do you really want to risk losing more money or should you accept a drawdown? The answer is you just take the stop loss because a drawdown should not really happen unless somehow for some odd reason your A plus setup suddenly went bad on the 1%. But even then, you should have been at least break even or even profitable, hopefully. You don't need to make that decision under real threat when you're in a demo. You'll be slightly upset about losing, but you don't have actual emotion about affecting your decision making. This last statement is what you should be feeling when you're trading paper or real life. You'll have more losses in a live account when you follow a risk management plan that you bent on a demo account. You're not going to want to move your stop loss when you realize the amount of drawdown you'll be in. So your risk is too high. You need to scale it back. You just can't magically make money come back. And putting yourself in a heavier drawdown when you've already been in the drawdown is going to make you frustrated and desperate. A blank state of mind to trade in. Correct. The system you use on demo breaks down the second you decide to change a single variable. So when you go live, you don't have the freedom to do it the same way. So now you're trading on a different system and your demo is no real reflection of what it's like to be there live. So what can you do to take away from this experience? You now learn that you're willing to do on a live account and what you aren't. You have seen the downfall of certain behaviors and you need to address those. This means next time you go on a demo account, you'll know that this isn't something you do live. It will slowly make your system on demo reflect your behavior during the live account. This is a good lesson to learn. You're learning about yourself when real money is at risk. Use this knowledge to format a system that will work for you. Just do it on a demo. Correct. This is the way. Another thing I want to clear up with you, you are up 250% in a few days. This tells me one or more things about how you trade. Oversized positions, way too large risks, and way too many trades. I cannot describe how far you are in a realistic expectation on a monthly profit level. The average professional day traders that are consistent and know that they are doing average between 1 to 8% per month, and that is an 8% being a stretch. You will have months in profit, maybe 15%, and in other months in a drawdown negative 12%. That's part of the process. You will not be in profit every day or every month. Your aim is to be in profit every year. Aiming for 1 to 2% per month is solid and realistic. And to live off that 1 to 2% per month, you need an intense amount of capital. So in 500,000, $5,000 is 1 to 2% a month. So that's with a $500,000 account. So if you're telling me that you want to make a career of day trading and you only have $5,000 of income, stick to your day job, learn how to trade. Eventually you'll graduate to a prop account and then take it from there. But first, develop your edge and just kind of have realistic expectations. The way to get there is to do it slowly with very little risk, because every time you lose, you will have plenty of balance to bounce back. If your swings between profit and drawdown are too large, you'll end up in a situation where your position size is going to be severed so much that your next win isn't going to even restore your previous loss. loss. This is how I see it. Anyone who disagrees is welcome to present their perspective, and I'd gladly discuss the differences. I agree with you, Sinfall. It's greatly put, and you have great examples to kind of help our person Shrek-im. Zixer Asura says, it's a good lesson that only costs you $2,000. Yes, you only put $2,000 in the day trading tuition. Go to Wall Street Bets, and some people learn the same thing, but with 200,000. Some people learn with $2 million. The strategy needs to be repeatable, boring, correct, boring, consistent, and mechanical. Mechanical, what a great word. I feel that the faster the gains are, it's just as fast to lose it. Controlled risk equals small, consistent profit, but will snowball positively due to compounding. Yes. Wimfemore says, same thing happened to me, exactly the same amount of the same ES contracts, and I use NinjaTrader. Ha ha ha. You'll overcome it, trust me. You'll overcome it either by quitting or by getting better. Careful dash relation 4626 says, your problem you've already identified. You underestimate the value of money and the need to stay focused with a trading strategy. Edge. I am currently changing strategies and working on understanding momentum trading. I actually do use a little bit of momentum trading. It's not what I'm used to, but I'm eager to pay for attorneys. I've been practicing for many years how to increase my mental equivalent so I can feel like I deserve more. I think this approach will address the root of your problems. I'm not too sure about that. Edge number 1, capital preservation rules 0, even before that. Thorendan says, hello OP, don't beat yourself up. For a start, create a well-thought risk management plan. Some parameters for your consideration. Risking max 1 to 2% of your account size per trade, agreed. Implement a daily loss limit, agreed. Implement a weekly loss limit. If it gets to that, I agree. Limit your ticker / max tradable contract size. Check your broker support. I agree. So currently I'm only down to 3 tickers that I'm looking at. If you look at my videos on a daily analysis, I'm doing SPY, Tesla, and HRB. That's it. Staying out during key economic news events such as CPI and FOMC. Shout out to S&P Capital and Lance the 1B trader. I know news is a huge edge and they make crazy moves, and they believe that if you're not trading news, you're trading noise. But there is something to be said about the boring days when there's no news and you need to do some daily scalp. So maybe for them, they don't do the type of daily scalps because news just skews the percentage, the asymmetrical bets that shout out to what the One Lance B talks about. So with asymmetrical bets and hitting a home run with an A+ setup during news, if I was in that position, I wouldn't need to do scalp. I would just wait for the news and trade that and make my income there. But I think to start off with kind of no news or non-reactive news, scalping to have the income. If that's your edge or if that's your trading style or that suits your behavior, that'll be something you have to learn on your own. Others, how to deal with internet / platform outage in the middle of a trade. So far, that has not happened. Oh, actually, I have had internet outages. I tried to trade. That was a very bad decision by me. So if I ever had internet or platform outages, it's a no trade day for me. Rule 0, preserve your capital. Follow Astacio says, from experience, you may think you've been humbled just like you thought you had a good understanding of risk, or maybe you have been. I would say if you have a system, don't go back to paper trading, and this is coming from a paper trading evangelist. Seriously, keep trading live. I think part of the problem just wasn't greed but impatience, and that you wanted to hurry up and get rich. I think that's part of it. So he has 0 capital. He doesn't have his $2,000, which I think means that which I think should point you to the decision that you should not put any more money until you know how to respect your own value of money and to have a risk management plan that can suit your trading style. So I would actually disagree with you, follow Estacio. Trade live, trade with the smallest possible positions unless those position sizes are greater than 10% of your account. That's right. If your position is over $20, find another asset and trade smaller. Okay, this is better advice. That way you only lose about $2 to $4 and it will not affect your mindset at all. Granted, if you win, it's only going to be $4 to $8, but if you don't like that, you're definitely rushing the process. This is a marathon, right? Good. Yeah. Shout out to Jerry Wesley, live traders. $5 risk or even one share. Zero IDX has gone through. Popping Calc says you've been paid for $4,800 for training. Some lessons are more expensive than others, but they happen. All we can do is learn from the mistakes and keep improving. When I started out and got humbled, I just assimilated all my losses on what I could have spent on a training course in another discipline and learned from it. Right? MitJust1966 says, I'm reading Mastering the Trade by John Carter. Remarkable book. Great suggestions on intervals to watch for day trading. John relays how he did exactly what you've done. Nearly every trader has done, me included, and how he course corrected. You'll be fine. Eggy Republic says, I 1.6x my mini account in 2 weeks, currently down 20% from initial because I was getting mad that the increase wasn't fast enough. Right, so we have a second example right here in the comments. The exact same scenario. It's happening all the time. Not focusing on the process and just focusing on the P&L. So there's a lot of good advice here. A lot of good advice in terms of developing a risk management plan, what paper trade or not to paper trade. I'm definitely on the side of paper trading until you get an edge. And of course, getting an edge and preserving capital. So I ask you, my YouTube subscribers, what advice do you have for Schwack-Eum? List in the comments down below so we can all kind of help him out or just help each other out. Because we're in this for the long haul. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.